Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 81 of the Coffee Club podcast. We're back again. We got some beans coming with also a shirt, which Ollie's wearing if you're watching the video. Some sick new merch. I don't even know how to describe it. Do you want to tell the backstory behind the shirt that you're wearing right now?
So the backstory is Catherine, friend of the podcast, made a shirt, which I love, which I still have, says, "You can go to hell, I'm not going to Eugene again." Great shirt. I wore it, and I think a photo came out of me wearing it, holding it down, and then this
got released.
This page, this sophisticated page called Cracktown USA,
which we love,
posted this post that says, "When you're a favorite for the gold at Worlds, but you don't make it out of the semi-finals," and then had that photo of me wearing that shirt that Catherine made. I DM'd him and said, "Can I please get this on a shirt, extra large?" And he actually sent it. So shout out, or he or she, shout out to Cracktown USA for sending me the shirt and a lovely bag of beans.
Thank you.
Fan of the pod. Looks like Vietnam Lotus whole bean coffee, chocolate smooth caramel.
No, the roasters Radiant Coffee Roasters, PNW, Portland, Oregon.
Pacific Northwest.
The beans in the Northwest are always good. And gave us a note from Cracktown USA saying that they hope to see us competing in Eugene, Oregon.
Never again.
Wouldn't hold your hopes up, but I'm sure we'll be down to or across to that neck of the woods. And thank you very much for the shirt and for the beans. It's very, very special. I'm going to wear the shirt a lot, and hopefully we can keep creating shirts.
Well, we're going to turn it into merch now because we're going to make another shirt out of this. So look out for that. But no, I mean, I appreciate the joke.
So do I. It was a good roast.
Inside of me.
It was a good roast.
It's going to be so meta. So
it was a good roast.
Shout out to Cracktown USA. Great name for an Instagram page.
It's so good, actually.
Yeah. And we have a couple of little housekeeping type things to go over. We've mentioned for the last 2 episodes about coaching athletes. We are going to propose to you guys a commitment to choose one of you guys to coach, we think, throughout a season so that we can follow your ups and downs if you would accept the 3 of us to be your coach. And so if you want to be coached by us, slide in our DMs, which some of you have already done. So thank you for that. We'll review the messages and we'll...
What are our criteria? What are we picking based on?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean... Let's not beat around the bush. We do get a lot of DMs on the Coffee Club podcast Instagram. So if you want to obviously be recognized, give us a story, give us a goal.
You're gonna have to stand out.
You have to tell us like a goal you have in mind down the road from now, like in the summer, some race you want to do, marathon, 1 mile.
Yeah,
some sort of set date
ultra,
of a race, like a big
ultra,
race.
Triathlon. You guys want to coach it?
Triathlon, whatever. If it's on the calendar, put it there. Give us a bit of pizzazz. Give us what you want. You want to run a self-hatred? We'll help you get there.
Ollie's specialty.
Any way, any form, just DM us, and then who knows? Maybe you'll have some cool running kit to run in. Leading into that race. So
we're hoping that you'll be able. I mean, I guess if it's like a high school or a college kid, they'll have to wear that. But we would love for you to rep the actual Coffee Club track club in your races. Yeah. So that's a little bit of that'd be pretty cool, I think, to be the first like official member.
It's in the pipeline, so let's see if we can punt it to the end.
Yeah,
so we can activate that.
Yeah. Let's activate that. But so getting our DMs, and speaking of Instagram, we are looking for a new what is it, the name of them?
Media admin person.
Manager. We'll call them our manager.
Media manager.
Producer, manager, and directive creative, because we Noah, he's done great for us, but he's moved on to bigger and better things. I'm pretty sure he got a pretty sweet job after putting us on his resume. Yeah. So
he's left us behind.
No, I think
it was like about $1 million salary or something. Yeah. So if you want to come work with us, that's probably the next logical step.
He's actually the media guy now for the Nuggets.
The Denver Nuggets.
Just letting you guys know now. No. But in all general, like, Noah has been fantastic, and we're very, very lucky to have him do some of our social media.
That's where those sweet reels came from.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be big shoes to fill, but hopefully it can be something that's fun for you guys. We do pay not with money, with other things. Wink, wink. interpret that how you
Interpret
will.
that how you will.
Yeah.
No, but also slide in our DMs for that, and we will review them, and we'll sort
We
it
also
out
need to hire
eventually.
someone to review our DMs. So if you're in, if you're in the, if
How do
you're in
they
the
contact
neighborhood and you want to review these DMs for us reviewing coaching as well as media influencer, we need you to do that for us.
How do they contact us?
How do they contact
Because
us?
they can't be in the DMs as well.
We will try and figure out a way. Maybe comment on the YouTube.
They gotta send us mail. I think.
They gotta send, just send mail to our address with a formal letter,
Yeah,
and then you can start sweeping through our DMs.
yeah, that'd be amazing.
And then we might need someone to help with the mailman. I guess. I mean, it's just a never-ending cycle, isn't it?
The first person going to hire the next person.
It's delegation.
It's delegation.
That's how you run a good business, I think.
I'm guessing, yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. This is not a
Well,
successful
I mean,
business.
neither would I. I mean, Gus delegates us to do the podcast for him, so
True.
we're sitting here.
Should we delegate someone to do the podcast for us next?
I think so. I mean, think about from Gus's perspective. He's like sleeping upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
And he
Gus.
owns us. He owns our
He,
asses. So.
he owns the coffee club content.
So he is the one that is having the last laugh. So, but yeah, we're looking to expand the family. So
The
reach out to
empire.
us, the empire, whatever you want to call it. We'll get to them eventually. No rush really, but some cool ideas. So hopefully we can get to doing that. But into the meat of it. So big race alert on the on the horizon, the very near horizon this Thursday, right?
This Thursday.
So you'll be racing concurrently with the episode coming out. So that always changes how we talk about it. But
I assume like right after, so this will be good.
yeah, it'll be perfect. So
This will be a good preview.
there's, to be honest, I haven't heard you say anything about this race. I think
Neither
it's.
have
I didn't even know you were racing until people in the Discord
Yeah,
sent in a
that's where I found
picture
out.
of the star list that you're going down to. What race are
The
you doing,
Discord's
George?
leaking.
Yeah, tell us what race you're doing, George.
Cat's out of the bag. Is that what's
yeah,
cat's out of the bag?
Cats out of the bag is the saying, yeah.
What the fuck does that even mean?
means the cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag. I'm gonna I'm heading to LA tonight to run a 3,000 meter race on Thursday.
Not just a 3,000 meter
It
race.
just happens to have some jumping in it.
Are you excited? Because right now you don't seem very excited. If
I
I'm being honest.
am somewhere in between. Yeah, gonna do a steeple and
Still not sounding excited.
don't know how it's gonna go.
Have fun
I'm
with
somewhere
it.
between excited and apprehensive of having no idea what it's gonna be like, if I'm gonna enjoy it,
You're
if it's gonna feel good,
You're gonna go in having fun with it. Though,
if I'm gonna
right?
try out.
Just go and have fun with it.
I should, yeah. What?
Yeah.
Going to LA for 2 days?
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, just have a race and give it a good crack, and then come back and we'll all be
yeah.
we'll be here.
Ollie and I, we think you're going to do amazing.
Yeah.
So we're not worried about that. We also think it's going to suit you a lot and that you're going to have a lot of fun. So
Very agreed.
that's our prediction. What
Thanks, guys. It's
Like-
been in the pipeline for a while.
it has.
This has been now going to be activated. So.
Yeah. We're activating protocol. George
to
Steeple. That I think has been Ritz's dream.
Yeah, who's more excited about this? You're Ritz. That's what I'm
Definitely
doing.
Ritz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ritz is very excited about it. He's thought I should do it for a long time. And he's probably not the only one. I don't know if I never dallied with it in college. Just, I don't know. Probably just wasn't that interested. Smith never brought it up.
Mhm.
But definitely when I was leaving, even chatting to Jerry out of college, like Jerry Shoemaker,
Shoemaker.
he thought
Was he
I
available for
should
comment?
steeple. My high school coach thought I should steeple. Heaps of people just, like, it's always been, I don't know if anyone seen me run. I feel like people always say I waste a bunch of energy going up and down already. So I may as well use that to
Use it, yeah.
may as well use
To
that
go
to
over
my
barriers.
advantage.
100%.
Unnecessarily bouncy as it is. Just
That's a great way of putting it. It just makes sense.
yeah. I'm
And
already
also
wasting
the-
that energy. So I
Also,
may as
the
well,
3K is like
It's a good distance.
Yeah, I've the 3K has. I've got that a little bit more figured out than
It's done you well, I think. If
the
any
distances on either side.
people that are fans of the pod know, George Beamish is quite good over the 3,000 meters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what other questions would people have about
Wait.
why I'm doing it?
Did you already say what meet you're racing? Did I miss that?
Well, I don't know. Did I say Mount Sac?
Mount
Mount
Sac.
Sac.
Okay.
Relays? Is
No,
it Mount
it's
Sac?
Mount
Relays?
Ballsack, guys.
Mount Ballsac.
Okay, I get confused on this week every year now because there's like between the different terms of the Brian Clay invite, Azusa, which I think is just the school that hosts one of them, and then
Mhm.
Mount Sac. So is it
Brian
that-
Clay is at Azusa Pacific,
Okay,
and Mount Sac is at Mount Sac.
and they're like 20 or 30 minutes away from each
They
other.
are pretty close.
But they happen at they're like the two big LA meets.
It's
that
like
happen.
Coachella for California track high schoolers.
yeah.
How so?
Just a lot of shit going on.
Me
And it's
and
all in a similar place. A lot of people. It's in California.
Brian Clay is a sweet meet, actually.
We did race there in college.
You raced it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I raced against
that was like
Albert.
the
My-
worst,
my
my,
fa-
worst
I think-
meet ever.
I think mine was my fastest 1500 in college.
Probably.
Oh, yeah,
it
that
was,
was when
it was
Josh
most,
Kerr
it was
towed-
most people's.
towed you
That's
along.
because of the
Fastest.
short. That's because of the short track.
I thought Josh Kerr towed you along there.
He did actually. He did tell me long.
Were you in that race? When he broke the collegiate record? That was the year before you ran fast.
No, I've run on that race twice. One time,
I think you ran like 3:37 that one year.
And
that was with Carlos.
I thought
Carlos
that-
ran
And then the year
second
before it
heat.
was with Josh Kerr when he broke the collegiate record.
No, but he broke it twice. Didn't he break it twice?
No.
Justin
really-
Knight ran 3:36 there.
This is
I
going
remember
down the
that.
memory.
I think that was behind Josh.
Yeah.
Ollie
Yeah.
was in that race, and you were in that race.
I wasn't in that race. Ollie's trying to decide if he was in that race or not.
No, I wasn't in that race. I've raced at Brian Clay twice.
Oh, so you were in it the next year with him and
I was in
Carlos.
I was in Heat 2, I think, that year.
Mm.
I've raced
Oh,
at
wait.
four.
Makes
I've ridden four
No, no, no.
1500s at Brian Clay. PR'd 4 times.
Dude, how do I forget?
Those are good
How do I forget
stats.
this? Is the classic the dive, the dive. Floor.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
That's when you ran 337.
Hey, Ollie,
But
we
the
all,
year-
we all knew that.
So I forgot. I
that
forgot.
was, that was 1 year
Sweet.
after. That was Josh Kerr was out of college by then.
Yeah, so the year before when I was a sophomore, when I was getting towed along by Josh Kerr, he broke the collegiate record. I ran 337. I ran 337 again with Carlos when he fell over
When you pushed him.
when I pushed him.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't
But that
push
year
him.
you
I didn't
won.
push him. He just fell.
Yeah.
He thought that he could outlead me, and he could, but he was too low.
Mm-hmm.
But that was with a curse, got Josh Kerr.
Yeah.
He lost,
Yeah.
right? Didn't you beat him? Well, was
I
that
did
that
beat
year?
him.
Ollie won in Sublime.
Yeah,
that
I
year.
want to suppose that year.
So I'm glad we got to the bottom of that because that was
Yeah.
quite confusing.
It's alright.
But I also did race it that first year, not to add more confusement, but I actually raced the 5K in the B heat, and I ran about.
Oh, I remember that.
I ran
Were
about
you just trying to
13:50.
get
I was just trying to get that
regional
regional time because
I
I was
remember
like,
that. I think I was there.
I was a little bit
watching.
tired after the indoor season. And I was. I
What
remember.
did you do in that indoor season?
Don't need to talk about it. It's in the past. But it was funny because I'm pretty sure. Wow, this is more connections to our team now. I'm pretty sure Joe Klecker was also racing at the 5K that year, and he was in the first heat, and he wanted to run like really quick, and so I think he was like,
Hoping you were gonna be in it.
yeah. And then Mick was just like, nah, like let's just like get the regional time and just chill, and so that's what we did. And then, but I felt terrible. It was like, you know how.
That would not make regionals now.
I know, isn't that crazy? to think about? You can't chill and make regionals these days. But you know how there's the phenomenon of if you ever expect a race to be easy, it instantly becomes like the hardest race ever. That's what happened to me in that race where I went into like, all right, I'm just trying to like run 14 minutes. Like this should be pretty chill. And then I swear I was just grinding the whole time. And like it was fine. Like, I mean, it like ended up being like pretty comfortable in the end, but it was just like, it was terrible. I hated it. But yeah, I mean, you've had some great experience. Both of you guys have had great experiences there. So you get to go back this year and have a big one. I guess you'll be racing against, dude, those college kids. I'm not trying to scare you. Those
Are they
college
college
kids.
kids? I haven't looked at the
I'm just
entry list.
assuming
I don't know
they
how
are,
to find it.
But in the steeplechase, they're good.
Dude, they ran.
I've seen the list.
There were like 5 college kids that broke 820 last year.
Like they're really good.
I've seen the list.
Trippers and all those guys.
Yeah, and it makes me confident that you're going to have people around you to keep things rolling. Because obviously, I feel like with a steeple, it's to get used to running with people around you going over hurdles as well. So that's going to be a good experience for you. I think those guys are going to be great for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we dive into how much preparation I've had?
Yeah, what's
Based on that,
your-
I jumped behind someone for the first time yesterday. 2 hurdles. I just Bags was Joey Bags, Coffee Club TC member, was at the track doing some strides yesterday, and I finished the workout and I was like, oh, Joey, can I just run behind you and like try and jump this? Just I'm leaving tomorrow to go race.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, bro. He's been helping me a little bit actually, with some pointers. Great hurdler.
Really good
And
hurdler.
so I ran behind him, jumped over 2 hurdles. Actually, it was kind of fun jumping behind someone. Quite enjoyed that. So that's the first time jumped over with someone. Haven't done a water jump yet.
Don't need to.
Maybe I'll try one of those tomorrow
Yeah.
at pre-meet. if I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a good way to go into it, though.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think Mountain Stake's normally a pretty good race. Like,
Yeah.
I think there will be good people in it. But the thing is, I'm looking at this one as like just a cider for maybe one in like a month or so. Like, I just want to get through this in one piece and find out if it's possible and how my body feels coming off it. And so I'd rather, like, it's not like a race where you can, I mean, what am I talking about? I've never fucking done it before. But I feel like you can't, like, it's not a race you can go to the well with like a lap to go, like, and just hold on like in another race, because you still got to jump shit at the end.
Yeah.
So
But they run really quick last laps, I will say.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's because they make sure they're fresh enough. Because otherwise, I don't want to get.
True.
What I'm saying is, because I probably suck at it, I don't want to get to the last lap and be super tired and risk hurting myself.
Hey,
I would rather run 10 seconds slower and finish.
you close well. So
Sorry, guys, I don't think you have to worry
I don't think you have to worry about saving for the last lap. I think you'll be fine. But we're excited for you.
I really like about the steeple is I think maybe if you're trying to break 8 minutes, that's one thing, but I'm pretty sure all steeple races go out in the same pace, because if you think about, so 8:30 is a good steeple time. What's that per 400? That's only like
68.
68, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're not gonna, even if you were jogging, like you're not gonna go much slower than 68.
Yeah, like, we were doing threshold at 70 yesterday.
Exactly. Like you're not going to go out much slower than that if you're jogging. So you just can, I feel like all the races go out like similar pace, and then you kind of just work into it, and it's like nice like that. Like, I mean, in like a 1500, it is the first lap is like people are fucking like sprinting.
Yeah.
But like you can't like sprint at the start of a steeple. You just have to like work into it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice to not have that pressure. But I am speaking from experience. I have raced a steeple before.
Have you actually?
Yeah, back in high school.
A 2K? I've done a 2K. I did a 2K in high school.
It must have been a 2K based on my age. It was terrible. I was so bad. But also, so...
Was it really hard?
It was so hard. But this isn't to scare you, because when I was younger, I used to only do cross country and I wouldn't do track. And my friend used to do the steeple. And so I like wasn't even training. And then he's like, oh, you want to come race state? Like steeplechase with me? And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I literally wasn't training. And then I went and did it. And then I got absolutely rinsed.
Really? Do you know what you ran?
No idea. But you know who was in my race actually? Was Cam Griffith.
Did he fall? Is that the
Yeah.
And that's the one that he fell in the water jump in that race, and I think he still beat me.
Apparently Evan fell in the water on his first one.
Really? I remember him having a pretty good
And then still ran
debut.
like 8:20 something.
Yeah, I remember his first year was like pretty epic.
You want to see something funny?
Would love to see something funny.
My World Athletics page thinks I've already run a steeple.
How does it think that?
I have a result. Why isn't it coming up?
In the future? World Athletics?
Why? What? Come on.
Maybe it's Geordie Beamish.
It's not. I know it's not. Right? What?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying maybe that's why it's not coming up.
Sorry for the delay. I thought I had this covered.
I got it. Oh, you raced one in Naperville, 920, nice.
Yeah, wait.
Back in 2017.
What country?
Well, Illinois. Naperville, Illinois.
I've never been to Illinois.
Hometown of Chris Derrick, I believe.
Really?
I think so. I'm a Chris Derrick.
How does that happen?
That's so. I mean, there are errors on World Athletics sometimes when people have similar names, but I don't know. You should tell them to take that off there. You should sue them. Well, now we're looking at all of George's.
Now it's not going to look like it's going to be my first time. Yeah, but that's okay.
But
we can Coffee Club can correct that and say.
I bet my high school coach is going to love it when he sees that I did one.
I think it's going to be exciting, as we said. So, yeah, we're hyped to.
That's happening tonight.
Yeah,
if you're listening to this.
True, it's happening right now. If you listen to this when it episode airs.
Send me any pointers you've got.
During the race, so we can check his phone.
I like don't even know if I should. Should I just go out in like last place?
No. Don't mid pack.
Go out mid to front pack.
Mid pack just means there's the most people around me.
Yeah,
while I'm trying to jump
practice. Good practice.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know. Think about
inside or outside.
I'd say outside.
Middle. I'm saying middle.
Just in the shit.
Middle. The lane 2 line from lane 1. That line. Stay on that line.
Yeah, people. I guess I've never really thought about it. People don't really run in lane 1 in the steeple. Like, I mean, you do obviously at certain points in the race, but you always have to go out wide to go in the water jump.
Joey said you always like everyone like staggers off each person.
Yeah.
It's like if you're in lane, if the leader's in lane 1, then the second person is like outside lane 1, and then third is like back inside lane 1. It's like
That's
a
cool.
ladder or something. Just been quizzing him.
Yeah.
But all my expertise comes from just Joey telling me what to do.
Well, that's a good man to get it from. So
That's what I was
I think
thinking.
you'll be ready to go. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we're hyped to see you get out there and just be racing. I mean, I think that just sounds like a very fun thing to do. And as I already said, we think you're going to do very well. So
Yeah. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do anything else for forever. I'm running the mile at Penn Relays in a couple of weeks. I'm still excited about that.
That's for the bragging rights.
Yeah, that's just for my ego, that one. Still want to do a 5K every now and then, but
just not too many of them.
just not so many of them.
Yeah.
Last year I had a shit time doing a lot of them, so changing it up this year.
Hell yeah. Well, I guess when this episode comes out, pretty much we'll be able to see the results and see how that first steeple goes, which, yeah, always very exciting to see how someone debuts in a new event, especially one that's so unique. It's the only, like, unique event, really. Like, every other event is, makes sense, but this one, there's a bit of a question mark. So, yeah, but we think everything's pointing pretty good, so very excited for that. Taking a little bit of a 180, different topic. That one was George's race preview. Ollie and I are not racing, so what we have to talk about as the biggest moment of our lives is John Wick 4. So okay, let's not spend too long on this, because I think we're gonna lose a lot of our audience potentially. But Ollie and I went and saw John Wick 4 last week, and
Quite a gathering you pulled along.
yeah,
A lot of people who hadn't even seen it.
But mostly because Ollie spent a month
Hyping
inviting
it.
everyone.
Hyping it up.
Well, I kept
Alright,
pushing
guys,
it back.
every single practice. All right, guys, we're going to see John Wick this week. I'll send the details.
It got pushed back because
And
people
then-
couldn't make it. They had previous obligations.
And then eventually it happened, and so there was probably 10 of us, and Ollie was the only one who had seen the 3 previous ones.
And not just once. I've seen the previous 3 multiple times.
Do you want to tell the people how you found the movie?
How I found John Wick 4?
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing. I think people you go to movies for certain things, right? You go see a movie for the plot, or you go see the movie because you've got a favorite actor in it. Like, there's certain reasons why you go see a movie. The reason why people go see John Wick 4 is definitely for the visual experience. Like, the visuals in this movie is very cool. The martial arts, or gung fu, if you want to call it that, are very, very cool to watch. The different ways that they use weapons. It's all that sort of stuff. It's like a martial art movie, really. And they have like martial art greats come in. Like Donnie Yen was in it. He's a martial arts legend, playing a hitman known as Kane. Really, it was just that, like, that's the type of movie. So that's why I was trying to explain that to the group. OAC group is like, you really don't need to know the plot that well. You can get a general gist of it. Like Robbie and Josette, they watched the first movie, and she reckons even not watching the second and third movie, she kind of knew what was going on in the fourth movie. Like, so, but in general,
it was pretty obvious.
It was pretty obvious. Like, it's a hitman. He's
Yeah.
trying to get his freedom. Blah blah
Just
blah.
gotta kill everyone.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was extremely loud, like the first 5 minutes, and then after that, it kind of calmed down. But it was so loud.
I'm pretty convinced that someone turned the sound down in the cinema,
Yeah,
because
they
it was outrageously loud, like the beginning. And
It was pretty awesome.
It
though.
like hurt my ears.
Yeah.
Like,
The first 30 seconds of it, when that section of it was loud, was actually cool, and then it got kind of overwhelming.
How would you rank it?
So
From
this is
1 through 4.
My
What's your order?
My ranking is this. Number 1 rank is the original film. The original film is always going to be, for me, the number 1. It's just so well done, and it's also, I feel like, one of the films that started this trend of the way in which it's called gung fu or noir film. Like, it's a noir film, so it's the visuals in it are sick. The first one is my favorite. The second one is after that, then the fourth one, and then the third one. But they're all just amazing, and the whole idea. Chad, I can't say his last name because I can't pronounce it. Starts with an S. Chad S, the director. He's like a stuntman. He's a stuntman through Hollywood his entire career, and that's his inspiration is all these crazy fight scenes. So the whole idea of going from each John Wick was to make it more outrageous, more fight scenes, more guns, more everything, just more and more and more. But in general, the fourth one was it was long. It was a long movie, and there was a lot of fighting in it. So if you're into that sort of stuff, you're definitely going to get your full of it. If you're not, you're going to not enjoy it. That's what I'm going to say. I loved it. It was a really good time. I ate a large popcorn and a large Pepsi. Finished it all. Didn't need to pee until after the movie, but it's pretty good.
It's very impressive.
That's my recap.
That was a great summary.
That's how.
I thought the visuals were sick. I think you'll have the same thing. Morgan will talk about it, but my favorite scenes in it was definitely the poker scene section, and definitely the second version of the stair scene, even though it was kind of a lot, and the ending. The ending was sick.
Is this the end of John Wick? Or is it going to be John Wick 5?
So Lionsgate have said that they were going to do a John Wick 4, John Wick 5 back-to-back filming. It was in a contract. But the director and Keanu Reeves both said that like they're giving John Wick a rest for now. There are all of these other spin-offs. HBO is releasing a spin-off called Ballerina with Ana de Armas. She's going to be... And then they're also making another series called The Continental, which is about the underground like society of assassins. So there are going to be spin-offs of John Wick, of the world, the universe, whatever you want to call it. But there is a fifth film that Lionsgate has asked for. John Wick has had the biggest opening out of all 4 films. It's made 250 plus box office. It's outdone Shazam 2 by half, which is a DC film that put
Take that Shazam 2.
Take that Shazam 2. So like for me, knowing that and seeing how much hype it's got 97% Rotten Tomatoes. There's probably going to be a 5th film. Is John Wick going to be in it? Probably. It's called John Wick 5.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I mean, the ending is a bit kind of... It's a bit certain, but it's not certain. It's a bit all over the place. So we'll find out.
We'll find out.
But Morgan, what do you think of the John Wick experience? Because you haven't seen any of them, have you?
I've seen number 1, not 2 or 3. My recap is not going to be anything compared to Ollie's. As a much more casual fan of John Wick, Keanu Reeves, I thought it was pretty good. It was definitely like it's almost 3 hours long, so it was a bit much because it is pretty repetitive at certain points. So I wish it was condensed a little bit. Did you have to leave to pee? I didn't leave. I like a lot of people did.
Bottle or
yeah,
what?
I just did it in the seat. I was very surprised at how many people left during the movie. I didn't think people did that, but like a lot of people left, including Yared. Take that, Yared. But
not even a big fan.
Yeah, but so I thought visually, like some of the stuff was amazing. Like it just was sick how it looked, and a lot of this like music sound was really good. So I appreciated that, but the nonstop like. He's just... I don't know how many people he kills or how many gunshots...
437. He kills 430...
In this movie
alone? No, over the 4 movies.
How many bullets does he shoot in this movie? Like, he shoots so many times. Yeah. Like, that got a bit too much.
There is a really cool scene, though, when he's got the shotgun that shoots fire and it's like upstairs and you go... That was pretty cool.
I enjoyed that as well because they got creative with the camera work there. But I enjoyed it, but it's like... It was a good movie.
Yeah. I reckon if you cut off, like, maybe 20 minutes... It would have been perfect. Yeah, that's what's great about the first John Wick film is 90 minutes.
Yeah,
so it's perfect for that kind of type of movie.
It weirdly inspired me to want to start like an underground radio station. So this isn't really a spoiler, but in the movie he has like a contract on his head, like for a ton of money to kill him. And it's really cool the way they show it. It's like kind of like a radio station that all like the hitmen are like listening to. And it's like a lady is like speaking over and saying like just like cool shit. Dude, wouldn't it be cool if we had like a weekly or nightly like radio show? I mean, I guess this is what we're doing right now.
A weekly
it's literally
talk show. That sounds familiar.
That's pretty much what we're doing.
No, but you gotta do it live though. It's gotta be live and like I don't know. It just seemed
it was cool that bit.
That was really cool how they did that. So I want to be a radio host one day because of that lady and because of the way it did it. Like underground though. I think it has to be underground somehow, which I don't even know what that means for us. But yeah. But so that was John Wick 4. Very very exciting film. We wanted to. So I would say like John Wick 4, a lot of hype when we went to the movies, but the really big one was the Super Mario movie.
We're going to see that soon.
Because all the employees were dressed up as Super Mario characters.
It's pretty cool.
Really?
And
That's sweet.
I was so impressed. All the people who weren't going to see it were also dressed up. So it made me want to dress up.
We should go do that.
We should have dressed up as John Wick.
We could have done that. I've got a suit upstairs. I just need to get
with all the weapons?
Yeah, with all the weapons.
No, not all the weapons. I can just grab
I would come to that. My recap for John Wick 4 is that I didn't go. I stayed home and watched cricket.
There.
It was a lovely time.
But you'll come see Super Mario.
But I would go see that. Okay. It looked pretty funny, actually.
I think
Doesn't Luigi get kidnapped or something? Isn't that in the trailer?
I don't know. Normally, Princess Peach gets eat.
Well, okay. This is
I know nothing about
Coffee Club Boys recap of movies. This is what we're going to be seeing in the next few weeks. So you guys know, we're seeing Super Mario Bros. We are seeing Oppenheimer. I really want to see that. And we are seeing the biggest movie of the year, Barbie.
That's not in the next few weeks. It doesn't come out till like July.
But we're seeing it. I'm just letting the audience know.
I wanted to see the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I kind of want to see it, but I'm scared that it's going to be a bit like it's going to.
Are we going to go see? Are we seeing Air?
Oh yeah,
100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, but it's a
100%.
Nike film.
Yeah, we're not allowed to. It's in our contract.
It's in our contract.
It's true.
When they make a film about Dathan Ritz and I called Ritz.
What about?
Dude, they're gonna make a film about us studying shoe.
Yeah. Who would you want? Okay, Coffee Club podcast film.
Call it
Who's
Cloud.
playing who? Who's playing you, Morgan?
Well, obviously it's what's his name, Slumdog
Dev
Millionaire.
Patel. Dev Patel playing Morgan.
Slumdog
George?
Millionaire.
Who's playing you?
That's a tough one.
Chalamet.
Timothy
Chalamet. Perfect.
To see it.
Yeah.
And for me, I know who's playing me. Jack Black.
Robert Pattinson.
Both would be good.
Jack Black.
You know, I'm pretty sure we've literally had this question on the show before, what actors would play you guys?
I think but they sounded really familiar when I was saying
But
that.
if we're doing like a movie like Air, who would we have play? And then who would play like Gus? We'd have to get like a dog, I guess.
It probably would be a dog.
It'd probably be a dog for Gus. And then
that makes sense.
and then who would play Ritz?
Well, Ritz is a hard one to cast because
He's so unique.
he's very unique. Like, would you get someone older to play him, or like, I don't know. That's a tough one. We'll have to come back to that.
I'd want to get Danny DeVito to play Ritz.
All right, Dan DeVito is playing Ritz.
Do you know who the voice you put on sounds like though?
Who?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart played Ritz to the other Ritz.
Dude,
Kevin Hart could play Ritz. I reckon.
Yeah, why not?
Kevin Hart could play Ritz.
All right, confirmed.
Confirmed. All right, somebody send us a deal.
Yeah.
Film deal.
What are we gonna see? Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm not excited about that.
I'm not excited about it either. I do want to see it. I'm a bit. The Marvel universe at the moment is a bit annoying me a little bit.
Number 2 was a pretty big letdown to me compared to number 1.
Number 1 was so good. Number 1 was good. Yeah.
We said we weren't going to talk about movies for too long.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
It's impressive how long we talked about considering how little movies we go and watch.
Yeah, we don't see that many.
Like,
Literally none.
we're just faking. All right, back to running. Boston Marathon Monday. Be there.
Huge.
So this. Believe it or not, this was the last thing added to our list of things to talk about this week because we forgot it was happening. But
luckily, we had a 40-minute discussion before we pressed record.
And also, we
that's
have
how
a
long it
teammate
takes us to
competing
get
in it.
going.
That also helps.
Yeah.
Luckily, our teammate is going to go win. So,
Shout out.
Shout out Helen Obiri.
Helen's going to go out there and kick some butt and win. Prediction. We have.
And we're feeling a lot more confident than New York because we can confirm that she has been crushing some calories.
And I was
feeling.
extremely confident for New York. So the fact that we're more confident now is.
And in New York, she didn't take a single sip of water or fuel. I'm pretty sure, and it was like 75 degrees.
Do we know who our biggest competition is? I guess that's like research that we haven't done.
I don't even think we try.
Yeah.
Like, why would we pretend?
Let's
that
just
we
name
know
people
what's
we
happening?
think are doing it.
Emma Bates,
Bates.
Scott Farble,
In the women's race.
maybe. Can't confirm
Emma
that.
Bates.
That's all I know.
Bates and Helen Obiri.
Alicia Monson.
Oh wait, fucking Kipchoge's racing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is.
That's actually so sick.
I predict he might win.
Kipchoge?
He might.
How
win.
devastating that Massachusetts voted to not allow sports betting last week.
Yeah.
I saw that. Wouldn't that be incredibly entertaining to have that going
would be
during
so
the race?
sick.
Especially
Who would you
people
put your
just-
money on? Obviously
People just put their
Kipchoge.
life,
think
people just put their life savings on Kipchoge.
I'd make
Yeah.
so much money.
I'd put so much money
Dude,
on Helen.
and Helen?
I don't know if we'd be
We're
allowed
not,
to.
we're not allowed to do
though.
it. We can't do it. Because we're teammates with her. I don't think we can.
That's yeah.
I don't think we
I'm
can.
pretty sure you could
I think because we have an
Have to check the
association
rule
with her, we can't do it.
have to check the rule book, but
We have an association with Scott Forble who's been on the pod. We're not
No,
allowed to
but
go.
I think
not allowed to bet
Helen.
on him either.
It's called stage setting or something. I don't know what it's called. There's a term. You learn about it in the information education course with SIA,
Which we're experts on.
which I am.
I don't understand why.
It's called fixing.
Fixing. That's it. Fixing.
It's called fixing.
Why would
Match
you-
fixing.
Maths fiction.
Why would you vote to not allow that?
Well, so some
Because
people
they don't like fun, George.
Some people believe that gambling is innately evil.
But do you think people gamble on the Red Sox in Boston
Yeah.
or
That
the
doesn't
Celtics?
mean that people don't want to get rid of it and don't want to deny new forms of it. So we actually had a pretty hot, because one of the things we talked about at one point in the podcast was how we thought that betting would make the sport better. And we actually got a pretty deep well, I don't know if deep's the right word, a pretty informed message from a kid telling us why he thinks that betting isn't good because of all like the damage, like the negatives of it, which we do ignore, because I've lost a lot of money at the casino. And
I haven't.
I haven't.
I refuse to bet, so
I haven't.
that's how I don't lose any money.
For some people, it's a big issue, and it really affects their lives negatively. So.
You could just make running like a sport where you can only bet like $5.
You can only win. Let's make it so you can only win.
I don't want to sound insensitive, and I understand where that individual's coming from, but you could say the same about drinking. You can say the same about drinking, and people are trying to get drinking more involved in sports. Drinking is in every major sport. And
yeah, but not everyone believes it should be.
I agree with that, but I also believe that if you are trying to have an entertainment industry or an industry that's trying to make money, the best way that they have found to make money is betting and alcohol. That's just a fact.
No, that's a great point.
And I have to be honest with you, like if you don't agree with it, I fully support your decision, and you shouldn't endorse it. You shouldn't get involved with it. But I do believe you shouldn't stop a sport from trying to profit and build up money, because alcohol and gambling are realistically the best ways to make money and profit in sport or in a business.
Well, no, I don't know if I'd say the best ways.
I'd say
there are the better ways. But
getting tickets. But people buy tickets so they can have a drink, and people buy tickets because they can go gamble and watch their bets, win or lose. That's just the realistic truth of it.
Yeah, I mean, I
got a point there.
I hear you. But also,
but I do agree with like that guy. Like it's not. It can cause a lot of damage, but so can alcohol. And alcohol is everywhere in sport.
Yeah, I don't know why they ended up not, like why that became a story, like why it almost happened and then it didn't happen.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why that was.
That would have been a great place to start, though.
Yeah, I was very
Boston
excited
Marathon?
when I thought it was happening as well.
I mean, look
Just
at
put $5 on
this
Helen.
is the interesting thing about just going back to alcohol and betting is like college sports. You can't drink in the stadium, can you? Kids pre-game and then go into the stadium.
Well, at Wisconsin, you can't. I'm not sure if that's across maybe that's a whole NCAA rule. I'm not sure.
Can you bet in college games? You can.
I'm pretty sure you can bet on college sports. Isn't that massive?
It's big in March
depending
Madness.
on the state, maybe.
Huge in March Madness.
Yeah.
It'd be maybe depending on the state.
Well,
so that's interesting because it's like
sports. You can only do sports betting in certain states anyway.
So talking about Boston and the betting not happening, it's like some states probably have alcohol in the premises and some states don't, and then some states have betting and some states don't. Like it's not all universal. It's like kind of mix and match.
That's a great observation.
Which is interesting because like with Boston, they're not letting you bet on the Boston Marathon, but if you're in a state like Nevada, can you bet on anything happening in the world?
Yes.
So you can bet on the Boston Marathon.
Well, I don't know.
No, but there's no platform for it.
The
like
sport
it's not
probably has
like
to allow it or something. I don't know.
yeah,
and they said no.
like it was like a DraftKings thing. That's who was trying to get it. So it's not like it's not you couldn't go on DraftKings. It's not there.
If you're in Nevada, you go on DraftKings. It's not there.
Like we've had betting. Like for example, world champs. There was betting for athletics. No.
Yeah,
there was. Yeah,
and Com Games
and Olympics. Olympics was betting
Olympics.
too.
So it does exist. It's just not like it's not like widespread for some reason. Which,
so who are you betting on?
Helena Beery.
Helena Beery. Who are you betting on?
Helen, because I'm pretty sure she's running. No one else.
I'm betting on Helen.
I'd say Emma Bates runs well though. Coffee Club TC. Also.
Coffee Club TC, Emma Bates. I mean, her last half of the marathon is so impressive. She always comes home like a steam train. So be interesting on this course.
Yeah.
How she fares. And Scott Farble's burrito king. Hopefully you can find a good burrito in Boston. And,
on the way.
During the run. But best of luck to our three people that we know in the marathon. That I'm sure there's more people running, right?
No, it's just the three. No, I'm
Did you know
sure
who's running?
just three. Who?
Who's been running 10,500 miles a week?
Who's
is CJ Albertson.
Oh yeah.
I thought you said Conor Mance.
He's doing infinite threshold, isn't he?
He's been tripling.
No way.
No shit.
He's been
triple
running. Joe Klecker has been following his Strava.
How fast
Very,
slow does he go?
I reckon. I predict that he has. There should be betting. I predict he has a 2-minute lead at.
What was he?
10K.
It was last year when he took the big lead, wasn't it? Or was it the year before?
I assume he does the same thing.
I would love to see that.
I predict that he trips over Kipchoge. I predict.
Someone else must be running.
Man, how when does Kipchoge stop winning? I mean, maybe this time, but probably not.
Well, how many more does he have to win?
Just 2.
Boston and New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretty much 2 times. He's got to win 2 more times, and then I reckon he's done.
But I reckon he's going to the next Olympics.
Isn't
he won't run New York.
Isn't he like
you would
60?
think until after the Olympics.
So I think
unless he runs
60.
How old is he?
He's pretty old.
He's Mark Scott's new training
He's like
partner.
40 or
That.
something.
Who?
He's Mark Scott's new training partner.
Mark Scott.
Yeah, he trains Mark.
Yeah.
I haven't. The only way he'd be able to do. The only way he could do New York before the Olympics is if he did New York this
year.
If he did Boston, now New York November, Olympics.
I mean, dude,
Yes.
they would pay him so much money to do that.
Yep. But they would. But also, would they? Because he's already said he's going to do it, so they know he's coming.
Yeah, but New York Roadrunners, they're good.
I mean,
People.
they are
They're
good
people, and
man,
they give out good
Not
money.
saying they shouldn't pay him, but you know what I mean.
No, you have to come to us. Like,
Also,
like we have the race that you gotta win.
Kipchoge definitely doesn't do it for the money. However, Boston, do you reckon Boston pay Kipchoge at all? Because apparently they're not as nice
they pay
with money as
I
New
mean,
York.
they pay a ton. These marathons make so much money now. They pay the big.
How much
stars
would they
so
pay
much.
for Coffee Club to do an episode there?
So much, like so much.
We actually declined
Yeah. What do you kind of
$250,000.
No, I
Each.
actually already signed a contract for all three of us to debut at Boston. I forgot to tell you guys we're going.
And we're debuting with the mic on, and we're doing the podcast during the
Holy
marathon.
shit, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, so this is our debut. I
Mike's
forgot to
up.
tell you guys.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
where's Ollie? It's like, I'm in the portal. I'm taking a shit.
Holy shit, that's a good
That's what the
idea.
sport needs. That's what the sport needs. So exciting. Live tracking, live podcasting.
I do love sports where people are mic'd up. They do it in cricket a bit, like if it.
Yeah, no, I do enjoy
Like
that.
cricket, it makes so much sense.
Cricket does
He's
make
just
sense.
like
for this
he's
standing
like chilling
around.
on the boundary,
Yeah,
just
like,
chatting
they're not
away
doing
to the
anything.
commentators.
They're not-
It's so good.
They're not doing anything anyway.
It also,
You'd think the first half hour of a marathon though can't be that.
Yeah.
It's like pretty slow.
That's a good you should be able to talk.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're going too
Otherwise you're
hard.
going too hard.
yeah, the cricket thing too is good because it stopped certain teams, not gonna name them, talking and saying things that are very inappropriate. So that's also.
I don't
helped.
think it stopped them.
No, it would stop if they got in courts. They've had to stop saying
Well,
stuff.
that wasn't because of those. There's also like stump mics.
Yeah.
They're like mics on.
With whatever marks it was, catching certain cricketers saying shit.
Australians.
I didn't say Australians. I didn't say Australians. I
Part of
said
the
certain
sport.
cricketers.
You know that when we talked about cricket a few weeks ago and I said like sledging, which is that must be like an Australian term. Like that's not an American term, sledging. What it means is for people who don't know, sledging is like saying mean or funny stuff to the other team when you're playing the game, and it's like a part of cricket.
It is a part of
it's
culture.
like a part of cricket, sledging, and it's like it is a bad thing. But like my takeaway was that it's just part of the sport. Someone sent us.
There is some pretty like there's a level
Well,
of
there's a-
sledging that
yeah,
is like
yeah.
funny.
yeah,
And then
And
then you can go over the
There's
top.
been some players that
Yeah.
take it to.
yeah. I mean, obviously you can.
You interpret it as
You
you
can
will.
draw the line wherever you want.
Yeah,
You can do it.
interpret it as you will.
But yeah, I was just saying it's part of the sport, and then someone DM'd us saying that they think that doping is just part of our sport in the same
Oh,
way.
I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that sucks.
That hurts.
That sucks.
He
Don't
said
worry.
something like he said that
Just
only because
expects
he
it.
assumes that everyone at the top is doing
Dude,
it.
there are some people who, if you go out on the interwebs, you'll see people saying crazy stuff. But like for pro cyclists and pro runners, people will literally say like, they will take a stance like you couldn't run faster than like 3:32 without doping. People will say stuff like that, and I'm like, bro, have you met like Ollie or Yared?
It is. That's the issue with our sport and doping, because it's just like people just don't trust anything.
Yeah, which you get why.
And
From
you,
the
and you,
outside.
and you 100% understand
So
it,
sad.
but I feel like as athletes being in the sport and seeing people like Yard and Mario and just like the willpower and determination and like what you can achieve, it's like that dampens your spirits, because people will be like, well, he just had a PR breakthrough race, oh, he's doping. It's like
I just think,
Rich words it as like this. It's like, oh, it's the biggest compliment you can get, like saying that you're a doper. I was like, well, not really. It's just like a tone on the sport saying like the sport is so fucking like
yeah.
it's not correct. Like it's wrong.
I'm just more trying to say, if people actually like followed like you around 24/7, and then they're
I
like,
didn't know if they'd survive.
hey, this guy runs 3:30, you'd be like, no, he's not doping.
He does have NSF supplements now, though, guys.
Yeah.
For anyone out there that was worried.
So he did get in trouble for when we talked about supplements, and Ritz found out that he wasn't taking his.
Ritz did the classic, like I was putting my shoes on at the track, and then I just feel this like hand come on my shoulder like this, and he goes, so I heard that you're not taking NSF certified supplements, and I'm like, well, I was just saying that I'm taking Nature Made stuff, like the stuff that we've been taking for the past 3 years from you can get King Supers or whatever, and then he's like, well, come on, I hope you'd know by now. And I'm like, I do know by now. I'm like, I'm just waiting to like order it in. It's coming in. He goes, this is not good enough. You need to have your supplements now. And I'm like, they're coming. And then I got my supplement, like my Thorn supplement, like last week, and I've been taking them. And I told Ritz I've got my Thorn, and he's like, good job. I'm like, thanks,
Very,
Ritz.
very proud.
You got a gold star.
Got a gold star from Ritz. I'm feeling pretty.
Where are you sitting at in the hierarchy of the team in terms of favorites?
Oof, I don't know if I.
Do you think that puts you up a notch?
Well, I think I'm going to talk to Ritz about something that might put me down at the bottom, but I feel like I'm close to on par with Carlos. I think me and Carlos are around the same level.
Who isn't on the team?
Who is on the team anymore? But you know, Ritz I think sees me and Carlos around the same level. Obviously, right at the top, glistening above is
Alicia
Watson. And then after that trickles down, and then I'd say Yard is pretty high up as well. He
running an American record would do that.
Yeah. Also, him being the athlete he is, I feel like. I'm not saying he's easy to coach. I'm not going to go down the Donovan Brazier, Pete Julian, but in general, I feel like Yard is a very easy person to get along with at practice. I feel like you say, do a 38 for this 300, he'll go do it.
Very easy to get along with.
Yeah.
Quick success.
Recipe
for a coach to love you.
Yeah. The only thing he does go to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure there's a pool loo available. But other than that,
pretty smooth sailing.
Beamish, you're pretty. I mean, I'm trying to think. You haven't really caused Ritz any strife.
Just mid pack.
No, but you haven't caused him any strife.
I'm not trying to stand out.
I'm just saying. Like, I think. Do you reckon
mid pack athlete?
What do you reckon Rich thinks about the three of us as a collective with the coffee club? Do you think that we're too big for our britches, or?
I don't know. I think
probably just worried every week that we're gonna
say something.
Yeah,
probably not worried about you or you.
I think he was initially, and then I think it was too much stress, so he just had to
repress it.
He just had to move past it, and now he just has Caitlin just tell him all the bad stuff.
Yeah, Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin. Thanks for listening to the podcast as well.
I thought you said Galen.
Galen. He has Galen.
Yeah, Galen listens to our podcast. And then
shout out Galen Rupp. Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Thanks for listening. Caitlin Ritzenheim, thanks for listening.
What do you think Galen Rupp's doing right now?
No, I know what he does. He's sitting in his basement.
Wait, ask Mike Smith.
No, this is what he does. He's sitting in his basement watching Sports Center, and his wife's bringing him like little cut sandwiches.
Is he running Boston?
I don't know.
Didn't he race like?
Mo Farah raced recently for London, tune up.
Yeah.
And
he didn't run very fast.
He didn't run very fast. And then I saw somebody comment something on the Discord board, I don't know if you saw it, about the fall off from Project Runners Galen and Mo. Because they were talking about how Galen and Mo have had like a really bad fall off since the project.
They kind of have, but also like...
And they're associating that with
I think they just
drugs.
I think, or you could... make that link to drugs if you wanted to.
That's what the link was.
But also you could just say they peaked in late 2012, you know? And now it's how many years later?
They're just doing the retirement tour.
Yeah, I mean, they got gold and silver in the 10K.
Bronze medalist in the marathon, Galen Rupp.
And then 2016, they both were still crushing it. And then 2017, Mo was still crushing it.
How old are they now?
I mean, they're not that old, but if I know anything about the projects training, I'm pretty sure that you shorten your lifespan by about half. So I don't think it's. I don't think their style.
I can't believe you just said that.
No, I just mean like I don't think their style of training is made for sustainability.
Next thing you know, we just see Ritz in a wheelchair. He's like, it's got after me. It's got after me. He's got one of those electric wheelchairs going around the track, and Alicia's just running those reps. Like, 27, good. And he's got his little wheelchair, and then we look over. He's like, yeah, he's been in a wheelchair for like 6 months because the project training's caught up to it.
We're talking about way too much personal stuff today.
26, good. He just starts revving the wheelchair, and me and Joe and Jordy and Morgan just looking and going, wow, that wheelchair goes really quick. And then all of a sudden, we find out Ritz is leading reps in the wheelchair.
He's pacing
because he can hit the exact pace.
Ritz still is quite athletic.
He's crushing it.
He's quite athletic.
He's in the prime of his life.
He's quite athletic.
He's actually
just to be clear,
he's actually more fit than what he was.
He just doesn't want to race because he doesn't want to overshadow his athletes.
He doesn't want, because he tells us that we're all weak ananyway.
No,
like,
he's doing fine.
Back in my day, we did this.
He's doing fine.
What are you wearing super shoes?
All right, so that's our Boston Marathon. A very informed preview, as per usual.
Are you guys going to watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
I think it's on...
I actually do. I like the Boston Marathon a lot.
Yeah.
I've changed my mind about when we said what marathon would you choose to win. I think I feel like we all said New York at the time.
Can't remember what I said.
I think I've changed to Boston.
I would still say New York, just purely for my career kind of started in New York.
At this point, I'll take whatever. What does that mean?
Well, my first like
career started in New York, bro. I'm pretty sure that you're from Australia.
I am from
Running when
Australia.
you're like 8 years
My
old.
career, as in like my idea of like a running career, started in New York because I ran in Dr. Sanders' meet. I ran a 3K and I ran 7:51, and then
That's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard.
no. In that race, I told Mick, I was like, I really want to like be a professional runner. Like I was telling him, I was like, I really want to do this, and it was in New York. My mum was there. My aunties were there.
All right, you saved it.
That was that.
I still don't fully believe you, but
My career started when I was 10 with Morgan, when Morgan won nationals and I got 15th. That's when my running career started, but my career of like wanting to be a professional athlete, like the idea of like having a living of running was in New York. Dr. Sanders, 3,000 meters.
it's a nice story.
Thanks for that. trying to give you some context. Trying to save it.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next?
Well, the
Fuck, I
next
can't
one.
believe I talked about Ritz in a wheelchair, bro.
Why did you say that?
I can't believe I said that, bro.
I don't think we need to cut that. That's fine.
All I'm imagining now is him in a wheelchair, just flooring it, and then like Alicia's behind him. He's like looking at his watch, 27, good, and just
In reality, he's gonna be running 6-minute miles when he's like 80.
yeah, he'll be running 6-minute miles.
He's
until
not going to slow down.
Okay.
So, yeah, moving on. The biggest sporting event this past week was the Masters golf, which I know Ollie and I didn't watch it.
No, I did not watch it.
But I know George did. And it got him pondering what are the 4 majors of running, because I mean, this is honestly coming back to a discussion, the same old discussion of trying to not just have the Olympics, world champs, and have more of a around the calendar, big time like meets that are important.
I had an idea for the Super League, the Tripping Boys Super League. After watching the Masters, I think we should call it a tour because it sounds fancier.
The tour,
Like the PGA Tour or the Live Tour.
or the Tour de France.
Yeah.
The tour.
Or the ATP Tour, like in tennis. The
Yeah.
high roller ones. Call it.
All right, new
We'll
name.
just call it running.
New name. The tour.
Call it the running event.
The
But-
running.
We call it sound.
After I
running.
wrote that down, I thought, well, there actually are 6 marathon majors. They're already called that.
That's
But,
true.
and those are cool. I
They
actually
are
think
cool.
that is like a very good
But
concept.
you know what the issue is? You can't do them all.
Yeah. But
It
you
only
should.
works if everyone can do
that's
them
true.
all.
Because everyone does all 4 golf majors,
Wait.
all 4 tennis majors, all 4 cycling monuments.
Not necessarily, but yeah.
No,
Why you
necessarily.
just
Because they
call-
are quite
Why do you
similar.
just call it the league? Like the tour, the league.
I don't know. I just had a thought.
That's a good. They're all great ideas.
Or we call it Track Fest.
What is Trackfest?
What is Track Fest?
Does that sound running?
It's the on Track Fest.
Oh, yeah, that's how I mean.
the stuff
how I
that
mean.
Festival
on
and
the-
track.
Yeah, mixed
Merged.
together.
So, I guess we have to say this is just track meets. What are
Yeah.
the 4
What's the
majors?
closest thing to the Masters, do you think?
For track,
And this isn't including World Champs or Olympics.
Diamond League final.
Excluding.
Excluding.
Yeah.
Diamond
So,
League final.
so every year the Diamond League final.
Yeah.
That would mean you need 4 meets on par with the Diamond League final.
Which is tough.
I mean, personally,
And it
these
just
are
doesn't
the meets
exist.
that I think are the top meets, but they're not always like the same. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not always the same to the year.
Yeah,
Like,
it
one meet's
depends
been
year to year.
Monaco and Oslo, the Diamond League final, whether it's in Zurich or wherever. And then I reckon personally Florence or Rome. I reckon
Yeah.
those ones are the big. They're the big Diamond Leagues. They're the ones that
I would
like,
say Prefontaine, but that
Yeah,
might
pre.
be biased because we're US based.
And pre too, but I think those European ones in particular, from what I've witnessed being there and not being there, is that like usually the Olympic champions turn up to those events. Usually, obviously sometimes it changes from year to year, but Monaco is always massive. Oslo's got the Dream Mile. Florence and Rome has always got the ridiculous 5Ks, which does seem to be a thing now.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
people are
wouldn't
that
say
interested in those.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that one. I would say pre.
We're not interested, but the athletes that turn up.
You know, I
We're
would
not talking
actually
about
say
interest.
I would say pre actually gets the most
Pre's
like
well up there, yeah.
Olympians and world champs.
But that's because it's contractual because of Nike.
Yeah, but that doesn't take away from
Yeah,
it.
that doesn't mean...
No, but I'm just saying, like, I think with Rome, it's like people go there to run 12:40 something.
That
The
doesn't
top-
make
the
it...
top
Yeah,
runners
but that
in
doesn't
the
make
world go
that doesn't make the whole meet like.
Doesn't make it prestigious.
I mean, if you have people running 12:40 and they're the best runners in the world, that's some sort of prestige. Maybe
No,
not the prestigious.
It is like a sweet meet, but I think Prefontaine. Now that I'm thinking of now that I'm giving this question a little bit of thought, Prefontaine I think year to year because of the contracts, probably gets the most world champs and Olympians there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think they should somehow.
Penn relays is the
Penn
next,
relays up there
that's
too,
what I was
yeah.
gonna say next.
I think they should somehow combine, or like make it. If it's not going to be a track meet, then like an event like the mile, they should have like the 4 big miles a year. Make those like connected somehow. Like
They should, man. Want to make a mile? Dream mile.
Bauman mile.
Pre-mile, and then they need one more. Would be like maybe they could
Fifth
do the 5th
I don't know.
mile.
That'd be sick. I
Like
mean,
those
this is
make-
just come
like
Start in
winning
New York
those-
and in New York.
Like make those 4 miles like a
Abby Thomas mile.
join them. How
Yeah,
many of
and
those?
there's
You can,
like
how
a-
many of those you can win a year?
and the overall winner gets like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Wait, winking at me.
Well, because you'd be the one that wins the billion potentially out of.
Well, how many times could you DoorDash that?
If you had $1 billion, you could DoorDash a lot.
Could I earn DoorDash?
You could own a large part of DoorDash. Not all of it, but like probably a pretty good chunk of it. I mean, it just comes back to like it doesn't exist because of the way our sport is with all the track and field stuff. And I don't know if you guys see on Twitter, Michael Johnson had a bunch to say about his idea
Really?
to he always has a lot to say doesn't he? About his ideas to change the sport. And pretty much he just said like what we always say, similar vibe.
It's the same with some of the interviews of the sprinters. They're saying exactly what we're saying, but the problem is like, is anybody listening?
Did Michael Johnson say this can lead into anything? Take away events or add events?
Takeaway for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
Big surprise there. What athletics? Yeah, that one.
So this is my thing. I think like, yeah, I mean, the sprinters, I would be very interested to see how sprinting as a sport would survive on its own, because I mean, the thing is, this is maybe incredibly biased. Like for those who don't know, like the sprinters, they get like the fat contracts and stuff. But man, like if there wasn't distance running, I mean, people do care about sprinting, but I feel like it'd be so much less.
Let me say what you're trying to say. I think distance running is more important than sprinting and track and field.
Oh, I think if you were to section them off, yeah, distance running easily like wins.
Way more important.
But that's maybe.
I think sprinting has the historic, also like people like Usain Bolt made it huge. The personalities, the bag, as they say. It's big, but yeah, if you separate those sports, which one's going to thrive the most? Which one's going to get the most viewers? Sprinting will get viewers. Sprinting could survive on its own, but I think distance running would surpass it. I think it would surpass it.
I mean, distance running proves every weekend that we can have meets on our own, because like marathons, road races, like distance only miles. Are there sprint only events? I don't know.
There's that Atlanta meet. The Atlanta meet.
There is some like exhibition type stuff.
Yeah.
But
Which I think is good for sprinting. I think that's like a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And if they can do that, great.
But I think distance running, it gets held back from the rest of track.
Oh, dude, why can we not just get some investor to just make this happen? Who's out there?
Not any event that can't support itself.
Just cut. It's a tough thing because like
if they're relying on us, that means they're cashing in.
From a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It is tough though, because obviously like track and field is historic, and a lot of those events have like been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I just
and
think
they're cool events. Like some of the events are really cool. It's just like, can they survive on their own? If track and field was split up, it's like the answer is probably no, unless they can figure out a way to market it correctly.
Could race walking be its own sport? Absolutely fucking not.
No.
Not like professionally. No, like not people making money.
It could stay in the Olympics, and it could be a big Olympic sport.
And then that's
Which is fine.
World athletics is just
okay. Question: heptathlon, decathlon.
No.
Could that survive on its own?
No.
No.
Because so the criteria for something to survive on its own is if you could turn it, like an event to survive on its own, is if you could turn it into it's like a league or whatever that is going to be entertaining enough to get people to watch it essentially.
Right.
And so you have to think about it like that. It's like, it's not like those other events really have that, whereas distance running, it's just so obvious that you could make that into one race every weekend that all the best people in the world are doing, and it's going to get a ton of eyeballs.
I think you could probably do that with like a sprint circuit or something too.
Yeah, you could.
So I'm guessing if you split up track and field, and we have these investors and stuff, and people are like starting to pick and choosing at the events. Sprinting, I would say sprinting and distance running are probably the only ones that are surviving on this level.
I will say I don't think sprinting lends itself to that nearly as well though, because
you think sprinting would suffer?
Yeah, I don't think it'd do nearly as well as distance running, because I think it'd get boring if you just had. I think it wouldn't be
the same every time.
Yeah, just be like the same thing every time, and it's just like 10 seconds. Whereas if you did it with distance running, you would have these exciting races where hopefully there's
How
different
many
winners
people are
and
going to piss off in this conversation? Because I know that sprinters would obviously disagree with us and say that they're
Sorry, no sprinters listen.
yeah, but they would definitely disagree with us and say like their section of sport, sprinting, is the most entertaining, the best personalities, make the most money.
We're not necessarily like disagreeing with that. We're just saying that if you were to make these changes, like what would do the best, and I think
Distance running would win.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I agree. I
mean,
definitely agree with that.
distance running has already proven that they can.
I agree with that. I'd be interested to hear what a sprinter would say to that argument. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure that sprinters have thought about how you would make sprinting more entertaining on its own a lot more than we have. So they would probably have like other things to say and other ideas on how to make it successful. Because I mean, we've thought about it from a distance runner's perspective so much, but we haven't really thought about it from the other perspectives. So
do we know any good sprinters?
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, Nigus. we could ask him. We'll go on the pod. We'll ask him about the sprinting side of things.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, it does lead into what was our next topic to talk about, which was the new event that World Athletics announced this past week for the Paris 2024 Olympics, which was a race walking relay, one male, one female. I don't really know how it works. Do they go twice or something?
One of each. 10K, 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 10K.
Yeah.
2 people.
And this comes off, I believe, them phasing out walking. They got rid of the 50K and maybe the 35K. I don't really know. But we're just looking at it like, what the fuck is going on?
Phased it out and then, we're back. We're back with something new and spicy.
We just don't know like who's asking for this.
So
That's what I want to know.
This is the bone I have to pick.
Who's standing up at a World Athletics meeting arguing that?
Well, this is the bone I have to pick. I think, you know, when we go to these, we've got a World Champs of the Olympics, you have these voting systems of voting for representative to go to represent like World Athletics or be in like a part of a committee. I'm guessing that's a committee that makes those kind of decisions, right? Those people that get selected are probably race walkers, or they're probably people that have mutual interest in creating an event like this. The first reaction I had to this news was, number one, they still don't want to put a DMR in. Doesn't make sense to me. DMR would be the most entertaining thing you could do as a relay. Number two is like, when I think of World Athletics and spending money, you make $70,000 a year for 2022 Eugene champion, world champion, 70K USD a year. That is not depending on what event you do. That's every event. So 70K a year marathon winner gets the same as a 70K triple jumper. Like, do you think that type of financial incentive is equal? I don't.
I'm so confused to what you're saying.
Because that would be
I think
the
you're
same with the
saying
walking.
every single World Athletics event gets paid $70,000 for the winner.
For winner, yeah. Do you think that's equal?
Whoa,
It's equal.
that is
It's not
literally
necessarily fair. Is that what you mean?
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is that like they're adding this event in. They were trying to probably limit
it's
spending.
getting limited. It's getting added in the Olympics.
But it's going to be added into probably a World Athletics calendar, I imagine, after the Olympics.
You mean world champs?
World Champs, yeah.
Okay.
So like that's another 70K for an event like that. I just think it's just
Was there race walking in Eugene?
Good question. Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be.
There was race walking.
It's got to be.
But those athletes are getting paid 70K, and you have that's the same money that a 1500 meter runner.
Well, this is what we were
800
just
meter runner
talking
get.
about.
Yeah, but that's what I don't understand is what athletics is like trying to create or not fix, but try and create a better. I don't know what they're doing.
That's a good way to finish. That is a good way to finish.
They're trying to create more participation.
You could look at. I mean, that's got nothing to do with the walk though, because you could look at the sport right now and say, why is the winner of the 100 meter getting paid the same as the winner of, like, what's an event that I can shit on?
Why is the winner of the 100 meters making the same amount of money as the winner from the 20K walk?
Yeah.
Like honestly, like for
Right,
viewership,
you can say that right now.
like for the amount of events, how hard it is to win that event.
No fans were thinking, oh, there's the void in track and field is
We need more events.
A mixed gender walk relay. Like that wasn't a void that they filled.
Yeah.
I just don't
That
understand.
wasn't there.
So my theory was that it must have been some country or maybe a couple of countries who are really good at walking and have a lot of money must have lobbied for it. Looking at you, China.
Pay World Athletics off.
That's, I mean, like, who else is asking for that? It, obviously, like, it must
Spain's
be.
quite good at race
Yeah,
walking.
it must be the countries.
Australia is actually not bad either.
Yeah, like, it must be the countries that are really good at walking that are asking for more walking events.
Do you know what I hate?
But this doesn't help. It's just not helping the sport. It's
Yeah.
not. It's making it worse. It's making it annoying for me that like
It's diluting it.
it's diluting it because
That's the word.
yeah, that's the word I've been looking for when I've been.
When I
fucking
see little
paraphrasing.
kids training, walking, that pisses me off.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far. It's not that bad.
No, but I think that's not good for the sport. Like, I don't think that's good for them. I don't think it's good for their
Well, their
health.
hips must get pretty cooked.
I mean, what if they love walking and that's where their friends are walkers and they love race walking?
Fuck it. Go for it. I take a pen. I don't care enough. I actually don't care enough.
I don't mean to make
The
you
thing is,
feel
we talk about separating like distance away from like in track and field, separating away. It's giving me more fuel to the fire to the reasons why. It's like this is another reason because of what World Athletics has just put in. It's another reason because there's going to be more money spent on this event that not many people are going to watch, not many people are going to support. I would say, and it's just disheartening because you think after a lot of people trying to push for a more concentrated situation with track and field where maybe it will be more profitable. This is just not going to help it. It's going to make it worse.
What do you guys think of the addition of a number of mixed gender events in the last few years?
I mean,
Triathlon.
The 4x400 I think is stupid.
Triathlon 4x4.
I think sprinters have enough
Maybe
relays.
there's more. That's top of my head.
I mean, they're exciting events. I don't think they're necessarily like the next best event that I would add. But
I think sprinters have enough relays. I don't think adding a mixed 4x4 does anything.
yeah,
Like adding maybe a mixed 4x-mile or adding a mixed 4x... Maybe adding a mixed DMR. Adding something that's maybe more... I'm obviously biased, but adding a distance relay would be cool. There's no distance relay.
To be honest, though, I think it's cool that they're experimenting with it. But I would say based on... And it's a very small sample size. The racing often tends to be not as exciting.
You don't think DMR would be exciting?
I'm not sure if you're listening to it. I'm talking about the mixed gender.
Like a mixed gender DMR, you don't think would be exciting?
Well, I mean, that's not exactly what I said. I was saying the mixed gender relays that exist, the racing hasn't been as exciting as like the relays that already existed.
Yeah.
Because they seem like this, like often it's just like so unbalanced.
And it's the same countries that are winning it too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't, it's not like, I mean, they're cool, but it's like, I mean, is the US, the US is just going to win like the mixed 4x4.
There was a reel that went viral and it was like this Polish girl, like it was a mixed 4x4, whatever it was, Worlds or whatever, it was like sprinting and then this USA guy just goes straight past her. And you look at that and you think like, is that cool? Does that audience enjoy that? It's like, personally, I don't. I just find that boring.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I don't know, man. I wish they would do a distance relay. I'm sick of seeing more sprint relays being added, and then they add a race walking relay. It's like, dude, add a DMR, man. Come on.
Dude, that...
Add a DMR, please.
That baton change is going to be wild.
Yeah.
What, for the walking? How's that going to work?
Just coming in so hard.
Electric.
Well, the thing is, they can get like
transitions.
you know, they can get DQ'd, right, for running instead of walking.
They do get
They
DQ'd
do.
for that.
Dude, imagine if you're like the last leg on the relay and you've done 30k already of walking, and then your teammate gets DQ'd. That would
For
suck.
running, you'd be pissed.
Oh,
I think like half the field got DQ'd at Com Games.
Really?
yeah,
In Birmingham, yeah.
Have you seen? Okay, now we're just shitting on race walking.
yeah.
Have you seen the videos that show slow mo that everyone runs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like everyone does it. It's
Everyone,
just whether,
it's
like,
a technique that hides it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just hide it. But I don't know if we have some survivor bias where all we can remember is the annoying stuff that World Athletics implements. But out of the new stuff that they put in this sport, has there been one thing that we've been like, wow, good job? Because in my head it's this, and then also it's the losers bracket rounds of the 1500.
Oh, I forgot about that. Shit, fuck.
Like what else have they implemented that's
in the last
been
couple of
good?
years, everything's been about shooters, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
been-
I just...
What's
I
like the
don't know.
most positive change that they've made in the last, since I can remember?
I personally can't think of one, but maybe I'm just being very...
Oh, actually, I did
biased.
just come up with one, which hasn't happened yet.
Zurich Road 5K. Was that World Athletics or was that Diamond League?
That was Diamond League.
I was gonna say,
like same people.
I was gonna say the World Road Running Championships,
That's a good
Sounds like
that's
a cool
good
idea.
I do like.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
That's a good idea.
and also despite what I said about, well, I do think having a relay at World Cross is sweet.
It
still wasn't.
I don't. I think people really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
People really enjoyed it, but I think people enjoyed it purely for not purely for the fact, but a big reason they enjoyed it is because the home team had a good team.
Yeah,
I think it is exciting to watch, but it did take a lot away from the main event, which is cross country running.
Yeah.
I don't think it did take that much away from it.
Dude, you should have. Crowds left after the relay. I saw people leaving after.
Yeah,
the
I mean, if you
personally, I'm seeing it from my perspective as an Australian who ran on the team that the reason why it was brought up a lot was because we had a good team of a medal chance, and then you had a lot of people turning up. People were engaged because they had something to engage into, and then people weren't less interested in the main races, which I think were more important.
Are there sprint events on the road? Is there like a road?
I thought it just went down to the mile. I think
So yes,
There's a distance.
so if Yard's running it, yes.
I
sprint
think
line.
Mile,
it's
5K and 10?
half marathon. I thought
Mile,
because do you
5K,
remember?
half marathon.
Do you remember how there has existed for a while a world half marathon champs? My
separate.
idea was like they were improving on that, but I could be wrong.
I mean, if they do that, that's amazing. I think that's a great idea.
It's meant to happen.
Sounds like a distance only meet.
Yeah, it's happening this year.
It does sound like a distance only. I mean,
Maybe
sprinting
the
on the roads would be
majors.
sick.
Maybe the majors will become like world indoors, world outdoors, world road.
Yeah.
Yeah, sprinting on the roads would be
Something
sick, I think.
Yeah.
But that new event adage, I'm just thinking like that's just more money that's getting spread thin onto all these other events that they already have. But
Yeah.
I'm also biased.
No, I mean it doesn't seem like anyone likes it.
Well, I mean, when I was reading comments, I don't know the full context of them, but I was reading comments and even race walkers weren't particularly happy with them. So
Mm-hmm.
I obviously don't know the full extent. Maybe it's because they got rid of the 50k and 35k, like those were important events for them. But it just seems like World Athletics, I'm missing the ball,
Yeah.
as they say.
Missing the point a little
Missing
bit.
the point a little bit.
So, yeah, not much more to say about it, I would
I
say.
mean, there's not like, I don't understand. We should probably not stop going on about walking, but like, there's no like walking version of like the NBA or something.
I mean, to be honest, it's not a distance running version of the NBA either.
No, they run. What do you mean? I just mean like,
Oh, you mean like you can run in soccer, so you can run.
just like a slowed down version or
It's a
something.
very interesting take.
Well,
I've
no,
never heard
okay.
that,
Let
but-
me argue this.
Like it's
in
same
swimming,
distance.
in swimming, there's different strokes, and you have different rules.
But you're trying to go as
depending on the
fast as possible in all of them.
Yes,
But,
but in
there are
swimming,
constraints.
there's constraints.
Yeah.
You can't
There are
you can't
constraints.
go underwater for a certain duration of time. You have to do a certain technique. You have to do a certain stroke for a certain event. Walking can be similar to that.
Yeah.
So just defending walkers a little bit with that. But do I think walking?
Yeah, let's just do freestyle.
Well, freestyle technically you can do any stroke.
Yeah.
That's the rule. You can do butterfly.
Can you?
Yes.
If you wanted to.
Yeah, because it's freestyle.
It's free, baby.
Freestyle. Never thought about
Well,
that.
there you go. There you go, George. You learn a little bit from that.
I don't
But
know where I was going with
in
that.
general, I think with the race walking stuff, like I don't think that's helping the sport. I do not
Well,
think that's helping world athletics. I
yeah.
think that's a bad move.
It doesn't seem like it's helping the sport overall, and it doesn't even seem like it's helping walkers.
No,
So
it doesn't seem like it's helping
So
anyone.
who is it helping?
Maybe it's a distraction from
It's a
them just
distraction.
doing dumb shit with other stuff.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I feel like today, like my mind is in a pretzel right now. I think we've bounced around everywhere. So let's finish with a question, a Q&A, which will put it in an even deeper pretzel.
let's do it.
This is a hypothetical race. All the men and women, well, we'll do it separate. The men and the women of OAC, they start. This is how the race works. You start evenly spaced around the track, and then the gun goes off and you run. And each time someone gets past, they get eliminated. That's the race. And you just race until there's only one person left.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the strategy for this, and who's winning?
Alicia Monson's winning that.
Not if she's got Sage behind her, dude.
Yeah, she's getting caught straight away.
Yeah, true.
It really depends who's behind. If I got Sage behind me,
Yeah.
I'm pretty stressed.
Dude, if I have Yared behind me, I'm pretty stressed. And Mario.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's a weird race in how dynamic, where the beginning is completely about how fast you can be, but then it becomes fully about how much endurance you have, because you almost have to, like, to eliminate someone first off, you just have to sprint like a little bit faster than them.
Yeah.
But then in the last person, you might have to almost get 400 meters ahead of them.
Yeah.
So it becomes like real endurance.
Because that is a really
Are there
interesting
12
concept.
people on our team?
Yeah.
What would the gap be?
Well, are we doing combined men's and women's, or are we doing them separate?
I thought it said combined. I don't know.
I said separate.
Oh, separate.
Yeah. Because I think it'd be unfair for the winner.
So not one of those mixed gender ones.
It's not a sorry. It's
It's not a mixed gender event.
All right. So then the spacing's a bit bigger.
Yeah. So there's what 6 men or something.
6, 7.
Who do you think will get caught first?
Well, it does just depend on who's behind you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, say like we're probably more even. Like say like let's just say for example John and myself. Like we're probably pretty even in terms of like our sprinting ability. And then it just depends how fast the person is behind us. Like if it's, but all you mid-distance guys are pretty even in your sprinting ability as well.
I would say
we're pretty even.
Honestly,
if you got 80 meters, that's
really
hard.
good.
So I guess it is just probably endurance.
On a really good day, I would actually say Mario. I think Mario can, endurance-wise, unless Yard's behind him, endurance-wise, he could hold on for longer than Yard, and he's quick enough to get to the next person, pass him, and give himself a better chance to stay in it for longer. So I'm going to pick Mario.
Well, think about it like this, I guess. You have to think about how long, if everyone's going essentially all out, kind of, how long would it take for there to be 80 meters between people on the team? If I'm just assuming we're at like top fitness, it'd be quite a while. It'd be quite a while.
Long enough that I'm leaning towards Clicks Mix for the win here.
Yeah.
I feel like he could hold that gap long enough that Mario Yared.
Because if you think about it, for the shorter distances, you just need to keep the gap small, like similar enough. Like the gap in your ability in shorter distances, you just need to keep that like similar enough, your abilities over like say the 1500 and the 2K and the 3K, where they can't catch you. And then you need to be able to be way better than them once it gets to like the 10K.
Right. So then Joe would obviously have a huge advantage once he gets to that point.
Saying that you're moving towards Joe, because it's like, so because if you think about it now that we're discussing, it's like Joe's not going to get caught in a 1500. If he's going all out.
Maybe he'd be max like 5-6 seconds back.
Yeah, like they might get close.
That would be close.
Like
2K might be like
it'd be scary. It'd be scary.
That's just something that you'd have to do it. You'd have to do it. You'd have to do it to know.
If it was like
it's too hard to say.
If there was like 10 people on the team, then you pick the shorter guys.
Yeah.
Shorter distance guys.
But not necessarily even like to win it.
Yeah.
It still just depends on who's where. Yeah. So, I think after thinking that one through, it looks like the distance people are gonna win.
I think it's endurance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick probably Helen on the women's side.
I'm definitely picking Helen on the women's side. I don't think anybody's getting near Helen.
I'll pick Alicia, but I don't know. I don't even know. Imagine if Alicia and Helen race a 10K right now. That'd be a good race,
honestly, watching the workout yesterday, I think Helen still got it.
She still got it?
Yeah. I think
she's pretty damn good. She's pretty damn good.
I think Alicia's would definitely be competitive, but I think Helen still got it.
And then when we find out?
We'll find out. Tune in Wednesday.
All right. Anything else from us today?
No, that was an interesting podcast, honestly.
It really was.
I can't remember what we talked about.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out once we get DMs.
Yeah.
If you listen to this pod really quick, come out to Mount Sag tonight.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Say hi to George.
Bring some coffee.
Touch his hair.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Got to bring some stickers.
Stickers.
Do you have stickers?
I don't think I have
We'll
any.
get you some stickers. All right. Well, best of luck, George. Steep will debut. Very excited for that. And hopefully there are some people out there screaming out Coffee Club. That'd be pretty sweet. But as always, thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you guys next week.